What's up, my design dude and dudettes? Thanks for stopping by. My name's John, the stay-at-home designer, and today we're going to be going over some vector shapes, and let's cover like some rectangles and maybe some adjustments there. We'll just make this real quick so you can kind of see some of the tools in Inkscape with that. But let's get started. I'll open up Inkscape. And what's great about Inkscape is you can use this free tool for graphic creation. It's very professional, and you don't even need to have like a Mac to use it. You can use it on Windows, or if you have like Linux or Linux Mint or something like that. So it's a very open source program, which is what I'm a big fan of, and it's free. You don't have to pay a monthly fee to like Adobe or anyone like that. Now at any rate, let's check this out here. Let's get started. I opened up Inkscape. The first thing we can always do is adjust our view. There's default and custom. I think for this time around, I'm actually just going to go to view and make it default for now. In future videos, you will see me actually adjust that more to custom. But let's get started here. So you'll see from past videos, we have a lot going on here with our program. There's a lot of things to manipulate the document or some settings. There's some things on the side here too for other menu action items. And then as we go down here, we got our color palette. But really what I'm going to bring you towards more so is some of our tools over here today. And the big key one that we should be covering is our rectangles and squares. And then we can go over to 3D boxes. These are pretty cool too. So best thing, you can click it, and initially it will pop up with kind of this icon you can see on my mouse now. And one thing that's neat, if you come up here, you're going to see what color it is bound to fill in. Right now it's like a blue, like a royal blue color. But let's start dragging this, and you're going to notice something weird, and I think this was a preset I was messing with earlier, where that doesn't quite look like a square or a rectangle. And the biggest reason being is I can just sharpen these corners here. But what I'm a big fan of too is, if I wanted to create another one or another smaller one, we can just adjust as needed. Now back to our selector tool. This is always very useful if we're trying to manipulate further into the shape we want. One thing that's kind of neat, if you use the shift and control key while I'm adjusting this, it maintains the same aspect ratio that you originally were at. So if you decide to size up but you love how the shape was earlier, feel free, you can do that, but you just want to use the shift and control key on your keyboard. So the other thing too that was showing up here, you can also click on it again. You'll see these arrows change. You can actually rotate, so you want to create like a diamond, which that is not a very off axis diamond. And then what I'll do now though is let's go to my nodes selector here, and this is really neat. You'll see on these edges we have some square like nodes, but this one's a little different. That one is actually a circle. So I'll just show you what the square ones do, and just allow you to manipulate further. But the circle nodes I love because now I can actually adjust the corners however I want. If I'm going for a really unique shape, more ovalish, or I guess square oval, squoval, we can do that, and that's a pretty cool way to adjust this. Now another thing too, let's go back again, that you'll see as I'm messing with these, I can do the same thing on these smaller ones, or adjust and overlap. I can change the color of them down here below on this little color palette below, and there's a ton of different versions. Maybe we'll do a slightly lighter blue, just different color there for that, and that's pretty neat. Now next, as I go back to my square or shapes tool, you're going to notice up top you can also make adjustments, and this is kind of neat too. Let me just make this 20, and you'll see how it affects this selected shape. I'll go 20 here, and you notice it adjusted the x-axis adjuster here. Also, if we from here can change the height and width of the shape, I don't know, let's go, I don't know, 20 again, why not? And you'll see how it affected the height of that. So pretty cool tool, very neat, useful to use. And I recommend playing around with some of the different tools. If you ever highlight too, you'll kind of see what you can do with these. In future videos, we'll get a lot more advanced into some of these shapes and how we can turn these into logos or designs that you're looking to do. Next, 3D boxes. Let's start with just a small one, and you're going to notice how cool this is. We go into 3D land, and what I like about this is as I do this, you're going to see the same thing where there's quite a bit to mess with, different angles up top that we can play with too. And you can see that I can actually affect more of like the box shape or the 3D aspect of this. And so that's very cool. Just a very useful tool if you're trying to come up with something a little outside of the page sort of scenario. What I'm a fan of, though, is that if you see, I can select like faces of the box. If I hit my S key, or if you just click on this, that will actually now just select that small piece. Now we have an open box. And but if I click this, though, they're grouped. In future videos, we can discuss how to ungroup those, or if you actually just play with the object and ungroup, that can do this too. However, let's do this again. Select, boom. Let's start opening the box. I feel like a magician. Go back to my node selector, and then back to the regular selector there. Cool. And so that gives you just a little bit on the shapes here. Check out some of my other videos. We're going to talk about the other shapes and tools on Inkscape. I just want to keep this one short for you, though. And if you like what you're seeing, drop me a subscribe, a like. Tell me what you're thinking. If you want to see something specific to Inkscape or GIMP or anything with photography, just let me know. I'll show you how I do my stay-at-home design life. Thanks again. Chat soon. Bye.